Hello and welcome back to Yield Mint. This is Eric, and today we are following up on our EID MAR. We got the die in. We're going to go ahead and stamp some blanks today. We're doing them in all three varieties that we currently have on hand, so brass, copper, and aluminum. So this is the die, and then you guys recognize the old mint insignia on the other side there. We're gonna make those our front and back. The Eidmar with the Liberty cap and the daggers was originally on the reverse of the coin, and so that is where we will do it on ours as well. So these are our three blanks. The one on the left there is the brass one, aluminum in the middle, copper on the right hand side. The brass one on the left, I put them in after I annealed them with the copper. I put them in the vinegar solution together, and I have to do a little bit more research, but either it pulled out the zinc, which is what mixes with copper to make brass, to give it the copper finish, or more likely the breakdown of the oxidation on the copper transferred in and linked up on the brass or connected to the brass in some way, causing it to look very much like copper. So far, much in fact, that there was 5 of them that were brass that went in that were so well covered in copper when they came out that I was unable to distinguish which ones were brass and which ones were copper. To give you some contrast, this is the brass coin that we stamped, and this is it laying on top of a sheet of brass, so you can see how much the copper effect actually did take on it. So that's something we're gonna have to work on in the future, is keeping them separate, especially when we're putting them in the pickling juice, aka the vinegar, to get the oxidation off after coming out of the annealing oven. With the annealing oven, which I'm not showing here, please check in the last video, but I did an hour and a half in there instead of 30 minutes this time, and then I left it closed overnight so that it cooled super slow. I did actually annealed them in the morning, about 10:30 in the morning, and the outside of the case was still very warm at about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So the insulation out is fantastic and does a great job. So hopefully as we move forward, I'll get a little bit better at the annealing. As you can see, we're striking here. I'm going ahead and getting everything set up. We're going to go ahead and just strike these 3 that we did today, and I will show you the first one in regular speed. And this is the brass one. It is still brass, despite the coppery look to it, because when I strike it, I can definitely feel the difference, and it doesn't come out quite as clean. It's a little bit harder metal to strike. We're going to go ahead and get this one struck, and then we're going to strike the last 2 in hyperspeed there, giving you a little bit different angle of the garage. And as you can see, I need to do a little bit of cleaning up. So once again, still looking for a name for the hammer. I'd love some comments to help it out and help the video. So please let me know what you have in mind, and we can move forward from there. But all 3 struck really well. I was very happy about that. And as you can see when we get to the strikes here, that they look pretty good. But I will point out the differences between the brass and the copper, and what I've ended up finding out of how these 2 different sides of the die work together. Because what we're actually doing when we strike these is we're physically pushing the metal into the die to take up the low spots. And so the deeper the die, or the more intricate the die, or the larger the area on the die, the more metal we have to push. And so the annealing definitely helps with that, but it's something we're definitely working on. All right, here's the backs of these after we got done striking them. The one on the left is the copper, the one on the far right is the brass. The aluminum is in the middle. As you can see on this side, all of them are pretty good strikes, but the aluminum, as being the softest metal, it came out as good as it could possibly come out. I couldn't have asked for a better strike. Copper is also very good. The brass is a little bit lighter. You can see in the middle a little bit where the brass color is actually coming through on the Liberty cap, but all in all, very happy with these. All of these were annealed. That process is starting to really find its legs, so I'm hoping that we're going to get more and more consistent strikes, as my aim also increases and gets better as I'm finding the sweet spot on our coin anvil. And these are the front of our strikes. Aluminum obviously in the middle, copper on the left, brass on the right. And as you can see, you notice it more on the copper and then quite a bit on the brass. The angle is not the best on it, but the middle of the insignia where the fleur-de-lis are on the eye, on the aluminum, everything is very crisp. But if you look on the right side where the brass is, you'll notice it's a little bit faint. And that is actually directly opposite of where the Liberty cap is. The Liberty cap on the back side of the coin is a very large area of the coin. And so by having to raise that much metal on that side, there's not, it creates a bit of a pull on the other side. So I may or may not be mixing these particular dies together in the future. And also that's something to consider when I'm making and ordering future dies of, if I'm planning on pairing two together, how do they line up? Is one going to pull from the other? Is one going to cause one not to be a crisp strike? Or, in the case of this EID MAR, if it's going to be a pendant for some folks, do I want the backside to just be a blank die? That way it is as sharp as it can be. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel a little bit to help secure a spot at the Renaissance Festival. And I really appreciate all the help and all the comments and all the views. Have a great day and enjoy the weekend. Bye.